Amazing how many people don't know that.
Hello there. Oh, hello.
You're a great whistler, Stu.
Hello. Hello.
You never thought we were going professional.
I am a professional. It's something. Professional means you get paid, right?
Hello.
Yeah, if you're getting paid, it's professional.
I like that special edition, even graphics and everything. Mikey has been busy. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a special edition. We got to chase. Typical problems right off the bat the minute that we go live, but we've got the legend himself, Stu Mundel, not in an ill-fitting suit.
No.
Good God.
Look, you're looking good. You sound good. I mean, you have been talking.
I get the ill-fitting suit. I get it. I got the joke. Got a joke.
Yeah.
Not from the Men's Warehouse.
Yeah, that was a great chase. A lot of people might not get that. They ended up going to a house. A guy comes out wearing, I thought he had just got back from like a Talking Heads video shoot because it's the biggest suit ever. It's like,
you know what?
I
was going to go, like, when I first saw it in my mind, I was like, this reminds me of Back to the Future 3. Remember, like, where he was playing his dad? He had the 3 ties on, and he had that funny suit. And I'm like, nobody's going to get that. Nobody's going to get that, Stu. So, anyways.
Well, Stu, it's good to have you back on. But yeah, we enjoy all that you do. Recently, though, we had a long talk with our fans about why it has been there was a huge drought, almost 2 months, it seemed like, when there was nothing making it to air. The airships were never in position, and we didn't get chases. Was there a reason behind that, or was it the full moon just didn't come out on time?
You know, I am the one that loves the conspiracy theories. I dig all of that, and I think everything is planned. But then in my life, everything is really truly coincidence, and so I think it's one of those conundrums in life. But the reality is I can tell you, even when I was doing nighttime stuff, I want to go back to night times. But when I was doing nighttime stuff, there would be just a drought, and it just, things didn't happen. And I would, same thing. People would ask me, it's like, oh, they're not letting you do these pursuits, or did the cops say something, or did somebody, some bigwig pull the plug? No, trust me. If there's a chase and the helicopter can get there, they will put it on the air, and it is just that simple. So I just really think that it must have been just people weren't running, or people were running at times when I'm sorry, I got distracted by the text, the messages. People would just run when we were unable to get there, or it was, that's the thing too. It's like people think, oh, there's a pursuit in California because some scanner guy put something on there, and that's not a slam at any of the scanner guys, because I love all of those guys. I should actually put a list of names and like read it off. Like, I'd like to thank my mom and LA Scanner, and but the deal is people just don't understand Los Angeles. And even some of the people that are out here, they don't understand helicopters. It's like, oh, there's a pursuit in Riverside. Why aren't you guys there? Well, Riverside is 100 miles that way, more than 100 miles. And we go 100 miles an hour. So let's kind of sit there and, let's do the math. It's going to take us about an hour to get there. So it's not 100 miles away. But the reality is sometimes these things just, they pop up and they end before we get there. And it's just that simple. There is no conspiracy, at all.
I love this question.
Chase in any other city. Okay.
I love this question from Robbie Rob. Yeah. If you could do a chase in any other city, let's just say you got banned from LA for some odd reason, right? Where would it be?
I'm a big fan of Miami. Boy, I'd love to do something in Miami. And I watch those Miami chases, and boy, those guys down there, they don't play. They don't
Yeah,
play. And
true.
for that matter, Texas.
There you go.
Texas.
Yes.
You know, you know what? I like the Texas attitudes, especially at the end. You see these things, they stop. There's no standoff. These cops just walk over there, bash the window, and drag these people out. But in that same breath, I've seen a lot of unfortunate endings, like you know, where even I'm just going, oh no, why that didn't have to happen. So Texas maybe too rough. Texas too rough. I got some friends in Texas. There's Cindy. I got to give her a shout out. She's out there. But I don't think she's rough. I think she's a big kitten. But but Texas, as far as the law enforcement, too rough for me.
Right.
Miami, I could get into that. Maybe a pina colada while we're doing a chase. What about New York? New York? No, we wouldn't do New York because there's too many buildings out there.
Yeah.
Good point.
I don't know. It's a tough one. What? Come on, somebody you suggest. What do you got?
I think Miami.
The Bay Area looks nice.
I'd like to send Stu over to Brazil.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't mess around in Brazil. I don't know how many Brazil chases you've seen, but I mean, you would basically be right next to the guy with the machine guns.
It's true.
Yeah, well, yes. I watched a couple of those Brazil chases where the guys on the dirt bikes, the little the 125s, the Hondas, and they'll get knocked down and they just gotta get right back up, and now they're mad. It's like that. I lost it. I fell. Now I'm gonna go. So it's just Brazil would be. It's funny. I've been having a lot of Brazil moments lately. Let's be very zen here. It's really interesting. I just did a story about a restaurant called Brazil Kiss. You're talking about Brazil. Somebody else mentioned Brazil in an old wildest police pursuits that I was in, and they cut to the Brazil stuff. But yeah, so it's kind of weird. Maybe I'm going to Brazil.
Look, I could see you in Miami for sure, though. Miami, you seem like you'd fit right in, no problem down there. As far as like the cool guy aspect, you'd be the cool new guy down there and running things. Now, you did say something about how you wish you could go back to nights, which I was kind of surprised about because it seems like mornings, daytime is kind of a little step up.
It's a different
your nighttime stuff.
Different world today.
It is a different world. We, I'm sure you guys are hip on everything, but we had a little chase just the other day, just this week. Was it this week? It was this week, wasn't it? Oh my God, I'm that old. I'm like, where am I again? But we had a chase this week, and we did, and I got to do Facebook Live. Oh my God, thank you, Fox. Digital crew for putting me on Facebook. It was like the old days. I was up there. We actually had a show, but it's one of those, the format, this and that. So they would take me like a little segment. They'd be like, "Hey Stu, where are we now?" "Well, we're still driving along," and and then they'd be like, "We'll check back with you." So, but it was good because when they did get checked back with you, now I'm like, I can loosen the tie and I can go and I can, talk to people on digital. And it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that one. Nobody got hurt. And, it was a couple of moments where I was just like I said in the past, it's like, I don't sit down. I don't have a writer. I don't have somebody going, "Hey Stu, this would be funny for a line during a chase." I don't have any of that. And a lot of times it really, I snicker because I'm like, did I really just say that? That was funny. But at the end, these guys got out and they were wearing pajamas, and they were sharing pajamas. The chick had the top on, and the guy had the bottoms, or was it vice versa? I don't remember. But they had plaid pajamas on, and I was like, this couldn't have ended better. I mean, come on. So, but yeah, it was that was the last one we did, and that was this week. But it's been a while. It really has been a while that I've had something where, like I said, I'm really look how proud I am of that gem. And in the old days, I would have been like, "Yeah, this is pursuit." So yeah, mornings are a little bit tougher. I mean, we do other stuff, but not so many chases.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of times, especially I'll go and watch Stu, and he's covering a fire, or somebody's hit a fire hydrant again, and it's like Stu's like it's like you see a jungle cat in captivity. You're like, that cat doesn't belong in a cage. It needs to be out there running, stretching his legs.
Yeah. Yeah, I am that jaguar. Rawr, you know, I'm just I'm kind of trapped right now. But you know, like I said, I'm loving the mornings over there at Fox. Let me give a little shout out plug for my buddies out there. Good Day LA. You know, the crew, and like I said, I'm new there. I'm new there, and actually been there just a little bit more than a year, and I'm just starting to kind of do the, you know what, I think they get it that I'm sarcastic. We're just starting to get into our little bit of a groove, and it has been that long. But I think COVID had a problem with that too, because a lot of people weren't working at the station. And anyway, I can make excuses for the entire show, but the reality is it's starting to move along. And it's funny that you bring up hydrants, because that right now is like, it's a running joke in the helicopter. It's like we will go out of our way to go get a shared hydrant just because it's just, you know, it's fun. And we had one the other day up in the Hollywood Hills, and God bless them. I'm laughing, but I know somebody probably got a frowny face next to their name at work. It took them like 3 hours to shut that thing off. And it was just going and going and going. And like we would leave and we'd come back and it would be like, oh my God, it's still going. I can't believe this. So, yeah. But yeah, I wish we had more chases.
I love this question from Pierre that we had up. If you wanted a beverage named after you, what would be the ingredients and what name would you call it?
Oh, Pia, come on. That's a tough one. My God, can I do this homework? Can I do that as homework? Yeah.
Can I take that to go?
I like bourbon. I was gonna say I'm all about this Texas. I saw the Texas Louisiana thing. I bet you Louisiana would be a fun place for chases too, especially if I could hear their accent on the radio. And I'm not making fun of it. I really dig
Cajun.
I really dig Southern accents. It's Cajun. Hey, Goodell was watching. You know, I'm a big gin drinker. I love the bourbon. So I don't know. We got to make a drink with gin and bourbon in it, and I'll come up with something. But I'm also about, you know, like a little bit of tang in there too. Bitter. I love the bitter. You know, I always make that joke. You know, like my drinks, like my women, cold, tall, bitter. You know. So anyway.
So
I'm sorry, I didn't want to cut you off. That might be the name of the drink. Stu's Next X.
Oh, for the win.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, back to
all right. So
we're talking about pursuits.
Here's a thing that we were talking about the other day. You brought up the fact that, you know, you're kind of the new guy still over there at Fox.
Yeah.
And
yeah, definitely.
Your demeanor and the way you handle things is so outside the box of everything else that everyone else that basically is working there. Let's just put it that way. And how do they handle that? I mean, it'd be like me and Creed going to work at, you know, Good Morning America. It just wouldn't, you know, do as well. But you seem to be, you know, thriving and people just love you. What is that all about?
You know, okay, the love for Stu, believe me, I am just as aloof as you guys are, because, you know, I'm just me. I'm like Homer Simpson in a way. I think I've always make that comparison as a joke, but you know, I am really truly just being me. I'm genuine. That's the honest truth. I'm never, you know, I try to please people? Well, I try to fit in. You know what I mean? It's like I'm not sitting up there farting up there. I do fart in the helicopter. I'm not up there swearing, but oh yeah, I do swear in the helicopter. But you know, I'm just being me, okay? But you know, that's what I'm saying. It's like, yeah, there you go. That was the other guy. That wasn't me. But yeah, it's just you know, I try to have fun in the job. There's been some issues with that too, but I think people are coming around to it, that they're understanding that, you know, it's, you know, we really truly have the funnest job in the world if you really get down to it. And, you know, yeah, I get it. You know, we do this every day, and, you know, steak and lobster every day. Eventually you're going to get tired of it, but you can't get tired of beautiful sunrises. You can't get tired of just flying around and looking at stuff. You can't get tired of Los Angeles, because it is enormous. Every day is something new. So, you know, you just got to bring that positive attitude. I think that might be a little bit of it. I've had see, the thing is I never get to see their reactions, you know, but I'll do a report and they got the headphones on and I start laughing. Like I got to hit the mute button because the other day, that's a funny story too. The other day, we were doing something over Malibu and somebody said something to me like we were done. I didn't hear the anchors talking. My mic was still up and my pilot said, "This isn't Malibu." And I was like, "It's Malibu-esque." And that got out over the air, you know, and I guess the anchor was saying the same thing. So no, we didn't get any angry emails, but it worked. It worked out. It all worked out. I heard them laughing.
Malibu adjacent. We'll just say Malibu adjacent.
It's Malibu adjacent, but yeah. So, you know, like I said, it's live television. Some of the producers, that's the thing too. It's like I said, it's been a year, but just recently I've been feeling a lot more love. I've been feeling a lot more, you know, a lot more like they were always welcoming. I'm not saying anything like that, but I'm feeling more like I belong. And I actually think that, you know, it's going to start showing where hopefully we're going to get some more Stu fans that'll be like, you know, let's get a little bit more Stu in there. And that's the thing. It's like, I'm not in the studio. I can't joke around. I never see any of these people on the internet. I try, but that, you know, there's that camaraderie and, you know, like it takes time. It really takes time. So, gosh, you know, I love these people that are sending these texts, but it's like, you know, I'm an LA public school guy. I'm like, this is going to take me 20 minutes to read this. This guy wrote a short novel.
Well, before we read that, I saw a second ago, John had asked about how did you make that leap from where you're on the streets, you're doing the whole stringer type thing, and then you're in the chopper. I mean, you're basically the steps between that. Did you have to go to college to be an aerial?
Oh my God,
aerial photo journalist. What a mouthful that is. Did you do any of that stuff?
Yeah. I did not. I've always been, you know, I really believe, and I'm going to say this right now, as kids stay in school. I've always been, I think I'm the last of that generation where, you know, it's the hard work and the constant trying that got me there. I love it that you brought that up though. And somebody actually hit me up. I forgot where, I think it was at one of the helicopter shows like Hero of the Skies. And he basically said it. He goes, you need to tell these youngsters that are out there with their YouTube and stuff, and tell them that you got to, you know, you just don't show up and this happens. And because it is true, I did years on the ground as a stringer, you know, $60 a night. I learned the business. I learned what news is. I learned, you know, photography. And then after that, it was, I did some freelancing, reality hell things, you know, but then I wound up being blessed. I wound up working, I'm going to say his name. I wound up working with Scott Reif, and Scott Reif liked me, you know, and it's kind of one of those things. And you just, like I said, just be yourself, be nice. And he liked me. And then he had a friend, and then that friend went ahead and basically wanted to be an aerial reporter, but he didn't know how to do it. So he went and bought a freaking helicopter and made a company. And Scott said, you know what, if you want this to work, you got to hire this guy, meaning me. And so for the longest time, I was the guy that was, you know, fixing the camera, setting up the microwave, making sure the audio works, making sure everything that wasn't the flying part of the helicopter was working. So, and I was also the photographer. So I was doing that for many, many years. And then at NBC, you know, so the guy that I'm talking about, he passed away. He was a really good friend of mine. Yes, he died in a helicopter crash. Chip, he would, you know, take time off, and then they would say, and he'd be like, Stu, you do it. And I'm just like, I'm kind of the camera guy, you know? And the station actually played it like that too. It was like, they'd be like, you know, well, where's Chip? You know, like hey, we need somebody to report on that. Who's in the helicopter? Oh, it's going to be me. Well, where's Chip? He's not here today. And you just hear in their voices like, oh, yeah, really? You know? And I'm just like, yeah, team. You know?
Great. The backup is here.
Yeah.
Backup.
Yeah, the backup's here. And we don't even like that guy. So that went on for a long time. And then I got into a spot a long time ago with CBS KCAL. And that's another one. You know, the guy that brought me in wasn't quite as advertised. It was like one of these, hey, we got this great spot for you, you know, with full-time gig. And I was like, yeah, all right. And then it was like, I get there and it's like, yeah, but you got to talk and they got to like you. And I was like, you know, so I put my heart into it. I used to be so nervous in that helicopter. Marcel, I used to be so nervous in that helicopter that I right before we would go live, I would steam up the windows. I'm not even, that's not a joke. That's not some sort of like, you know, some kind of like, I'm just making stuff up or trying to be funny. I'm telling you, I would steam up the windows. That's how I was that kind of nervous. So yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. So
I mean, it seems like you know, you've had this
awkward
series of events that have brought you to where you are.
Yeah.
The question I'm going to ask you: if none of that would have happened, if you could have seen yourself in a different line of work, where do you think you would have went?
Tow truck driver.
In Houston, that would work out really good.
Yeah,
tow truck drivers are there ready to haul off the car, but seconds after they're removed from it.
It's like a long running joke over here on the channel because we start counting during any of the Dallas chases or Houston. We start counting how many different tow trucks that we see. It's so odd that like businesses, I guess, that bad that they got to chase
or that good, one or two.
That good, yeah.
Yeah, it would have been a tow truck driver or something in the automotive industry for sure. There's no doubt about it. I mean, that's what I always wanted to do. I didn't want to be. Of course, I want to be the tow truck driver, but I wanted to own the company. You know, and I just really and again, the real reason why is because I like to help people, and people are happy to see the tow truck usually. You know, I mean, there's probably some people that aren't, but for the most part, people are like, hey, the tow truck's here, great. You know. So, but yeah, it's just that's what I want. Oklahoma loves me. I wonder if that's my buddy. I got some friends out there in Oklahoma. So
you got some love coming earlier. I saw from Australia and everywhere else.
Australia, dude, Australia. You know that would be the place for the pursuit. Oh my God! But see, that's the thing. It's like I'm that warped American. All the Australians are gonna be rolling their eyes like, oh geez, because I'm thinking Mad Max, the Interceptor and all that stuff. So, but anyway.
All right, Stu, we had it was interesting. We were watching a chase the other day, and you were covering it, and you were telling us about the car. You're like, oh, that's a such and such series. That's this and this. And we decided we wanted to try and guess what kind of car you drive. Now, Creed said you drive like, I guess, like a pickup truck.
I'm thinking an older pickup truck. But a lot of people were going with the, hey, Stu lives in LA. You got to be driving a nice Mercedes.
I'm saying he's in a Mercedes, a BMW, maybe a nice little Audi, perhaps something with a little pep in the step, because he seems like the kind of guy that likes speed. He likes to go fast when it's legal.
Yeah.
Of course. So what kind of car do you
Honda
drive,
Fit.
Stu?
Honda Fit.
We all
Fit.
just
I
lost.
drive a Honda Fit.
Are you serious? I don't think
he's
anybody,
lying.
I don't think anybody was that close. Yeah.
Which one of us is lying? That guy. That guy is lying.
No, you know what? Again, not making it. This is we're on the internet. We're not trying to sell anything. I'm not peddling my Ginsu knives. Look,
Ginsu knives.
I've always loved cars and trucks. I got, early on, I was a big Toyota guy back in the 90s. And then, but I love American cars, and I always make the joke, I drive American when I can. And, had a bunch of Chevys. I had a Hummer. I had one of those H3s. Let me tell you that story about that H3. Bought that truck brand new, took it off-roading one time, didn't do anything I would have done with my Toyota. Like I said, I wasn't like launching it off of like ridges or trying to jump a ravine or anything. $800 in damage. $800 in damage, and the steering wheel was all crooked. I don't know. There was also some other mechanical issues with it when I got it. Probably the worst vehicle I've ever bought in my life. Would I buy one again? If I had the money and the space, I'd buy it like that. It was just something about that truck that I just loved. So big GM guy for the longest time. And then I got my first Mopar. Oh, the Mopar. And you know what? This is kind of this. Yeah, there you go. There you go. And I got the truck. I got the Ram. I bought it brand new. I had a 20. I always say it was a 2015, but it was actually a 2016. Bought it brand new. You know, the Hemi in it. You know, the 4-door, because my kids are my size, and we would do road trips. So I got the you know, the nice one, nicer, and was probably the nicest one I'd ever seen. And I put 200,000 miles on it. And everybody's like, Stu, you got to sell that truck. Oh, it's going to let you down. I never burned any oil. Never had any problems with it. Nothing. It's fast as, I'm not going to say that word, but it's really, really fast. And then I got rid of it, which I'm still sad about to this day. And then I got the newer one, like that new fancy one with the big, you know, Tesla screen in the middle, like that looks like a giant iPad, and you know, heated and cooled seats, and like all kind of drives itself. And I mean, it was just crazy. And I liked it, but I just didn't feel it was me. You know, I felt like I was rolling around in somebody else's truck. And then things in life happened, and I wound up, like you said, living in the city. And just recently I sold it. And what did I buy? I went for an older E-Class Mercedes. And it basically was just something that I knew, you know what I mean?
Damn.
So I am the E-Class guy, all-wheel drive, if that counts for anything. But you know, it's just, that's the thing. It really, truly, there's people out there, because I've had some people say, don't say that out loud, Stu. That makes you sound pompous. But I don't. But that's the thing. It's like, you know, it's just an AB car. You know what I mean? It really, truly is. It gets me to work. It gets me home. I run errands in it. You know, it's neat. It's nifty. But you know, yeah, it's a Mercedes. But you know, it's not new. You know what I'm saying? It isn't new or anything like that. But it still is a Mercedes. But yeah, it's just an AB car. And the only reason I got it was because I had a couple in the past, and they've always been super reliable. So that's the reason I got it. Sorry,
Debbie,
I disappointed you.
No, Mikey's very.
I won, baby. I was so worried. You were talking about trucks, and then I went down. I was like,
yeah,
for the win. Nothing.
Your
changed.
favorite band? Debbie wants to know, Stu. Your favorite band?
Rubber. No.
Big Loverboy fan.
Yeah, Loverboy. Whitesnake. You guys got to go on my social media. We had a Whitesnake moment a couple weeks ago. We're flying around. We heard this disturbance, 415 woman, you know, and that way, no, I'm not. And so we heard this call. So we go there, because it actually was in front of a competitor's station. So we go there, and sure enough, there's this woman out there hammered, pouring water on herself, dancing around. And what she do, she climbs up on the top of the car. She's rolling around. And so, you know, I had to put that on social media. What favorite bands? You know, I like jazz. I like blues. I don't really have a favorite, but I really dig older like blues from like the 50s, from the 30s and things like that. Like any singer that has the word blind in his name, I probably know one of the songs.
Blind, howling, anything like that. You're in on it.
Yes, there you go.
Stu impressed me
Yep.
before we went live. Good to see you, Moy. Moy's a hardworking guy right there. We were talking about some stuff, and he brought the Dead Milkmen, Punk Rock Girl, and I'm like, oh, I know that. I mean. You know, working as a metal show host for all those years did kind of bring a bunch of different music my way. So Dead Milkmen, we're old radio guys. I did a metal show for many years. We did a radio show. That's why we basically made the transition from that, because it was a dead medium, and moved into doing what we're doing now. A year and a half in.
It's coming back. It's coming back. I'm telling you. AM radio is going to be the new cool. Just watch. AM radio. It's coming back. And people are being like, he's being funny. No, I'm not. I love the
Stu,
AM
if you're interested, there's like 3 of them for sale in my town right now. You can pick them up. We'll be ahead of the curve. I'm sure we could get them for a real steal.
AM news and pursuits 24/7.
Oh, I
Make a
love
little like
we get our own fleet, Stu, and we put them in all the big cities.
and I
And
still
we
listen.
just boom, boom, boom.
I still listen to KFI quite a bit on the internet, of course.
Oh, I
but,
love. Are you kidding me? Oh
Bill
my God.
Handel, one of
Tim
my faves.
Conway Jr., Bill Handel, another one.
Handel on the Wall.
There's a serious news guy, and I'm brain farting here, and I guess it's because I'm tired. I'm gonna go with old. I'll take old for 500, Alex. I forgot his name. Oh God, it's just right there on the tip of my tongue. But he's a serious news guy, and he could have been a great stringer. And I always tell him that, and he thinks I'm being funny, but I'm being serious. He's a radio guy, news guy. He's one of those ones. He's always right there when all the big stuff happens. And but yeah, he's on KFI. He's on KFI. And Tim Conway, love the Tim Conway. And those two guys that always get in trouble. What are their names? There's two of them on there. They got John and Ken, another one. They're just fantastic. And it's just personalities talking on the radio, and just like you guys. You guys should. Oh, you are. Never mind.
And here's the big thing I think that makes everybody love Stu is his genuine sense of humor, and he's also just funny. You're a funny guy. I mean, you should be doing, like I said, why don't they get you in the studio and give you like a weekly show, Stu? I think we should. If they can't do it, I think maybe me and you, we can work on something together. We'll get you a good spot.
Yeah.
Good spots for Stu.
Yeah, Stu figures out the news. Yeah, Stu figures out the news.
You have a lot of opinions.
That is also another great song, Led Zeppelin. You know what? Everybody's got an opinion. Trust me, but don't get me started. Don't get me started. Oh my God, the world today. I literally I sit there and I'm thinking to myself, you know, we're all about that age. I mean, you guys are probably younger than me, but you guys remember the older guys that used to come down on us like, you young kids, you youngsters don't know nothing, and and I walked with holes in my shoes, and I had to work 24 hours, and I was 6. Okay. And I'm like, maybe I've become that guy because I'm watching what's going on, and I'm like, what the hell is the, you know, and but then I just kind of think it's like, you know, times are changing. That's about it. And you just gotta kind of watching what's going on. And I'm enjoying the show. I'll tell you that. I'm enjoying the show. And that's all I can say right now is really, it's just really, truly, I love the social media. I love the diversity. I love the fact that everybody can say what they want. And sometimes it gets a little annoying, but yeah, I just really dig it that everybody has a voice and there's so much out there. And I just, you know, I'm waiting for it to kind of die down where we're not like so this way, so that way, and we're more in the middle, you know, and everybody just kind of starts getting back to that. That's all I really care about.
Is there any way that we could talk to Fox to leave your mic on all day long over on Facebook Live?
Right. Yes. Oh my God.
I would sit and listen for hours. I would do my work listening to you.
They have that whole the news now thing. I mean, let's just.
Yeah, I think you could really.
I like the news now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's your best.
Let me tell you about the open mic. So, like I said, I made that move to Fox. Totally new crowd. I mean, there were definitely some people out there that know me. Moy was one of them. But you know, the first couple of Facebook Lives and stuff, people just didn't get it. It was just really, really shocking. And then I had a female friend of mine at dinner, and basically she kind of like, because I'm just like, what's wrong? And she's like, look, Stu, look, I know you, you know, people know you, but then there are people that don't know you. And if you are listening to what's going on and they didn't know you, they think you're having a stroke, you know, or you're in some sort of episode. So I had to start doing these disclaimers. Not up here by myself. Yes, I know my mic is open, you know. You know, and yes, this is behind the scenes. It's official. It's not really official. You know, I'm going to give you information, but you know, there's other stuff going on. And if I'm talking to you and I stop, you know, I didn't have a stroke. I got somebody talking to me, or I got somebody else in there. If I, you know, stop and I'm answering weird questions, you know, you guys got to understand that. And I think it took a minute or two for people to really kind of grasp that part of it. And I think that was one of the reasons. And then I actually had somebody, one of the assignment desk women, God bless her, and believe me, this is not a slam. I love her to death. She basically said, she's like, Stu, hey, is there a way that you could shut your mic off when you're flying around in the helicopter, because you're really distracting.
Wow.
And I'm just like, yeah, okay, no problem.
That's why they pay me the big bucks, because I am distracting.
Ironically enough, that's the feedback that we get over on the Stu group over on Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
Just shut up, please. Shut up.
The Stu page over there, if we're live with something or we're doing our show, people are like, can these guys just be quiet? I mean, all we're hearing anyways is
that's what they want to hear.
And I'm like, you know, either people get us and love what we do when we're watching chases, or they don't get it at all and just despise us. And they're like, oh, why are you not taking this serious right now?
A lot of people have never heard of a rerun on TV either. When we watch, classic chases, they're like, wow, this isn't live? What?
Why would you watch an old chase? Because there's a lot there. There's a lot to talk about. It's a fun thing. And you know what? There's so few live ones these days. And if you love chases, you got to watch them. You got to be a part of it. And that's the whole thing. Keep being distracted.
You should. I was going to say, it's not Science Theater 3000. Was that the
Mystery
one?
Science Theater 3000.
I just love, sitting, and this is the thing too. It's like some people get me, some people don't. Kind of got back into the dating thing, and it's like, well, I like old Bond movies, the old Bond movies, right? Because they're so hokey, but they're so cool, and you just sit there and you just make voices or you make commentary. And I've had the, oh my God, you're hilarious, and I've had the, could you just be quiet? Can we watch the movie? And I'm like, this is Bond. You don't know what you're going to be surprised when he wins. I mean, come on, But anyway, so yeah, it is exactly that. Some people get it, some people don't. Somebody's talking about flying around with it. I got my screen's all messed up. I got something in the middle, and the words are like crooked.
So it says.
I thought it was the band.
Yeah, he said flying around with no doors on sandbags was my experience. Do you ever get tired of it? Basically, tired of being up in the airship.
Well, you know what's funny? Dr. Skip Kazarian. Yeah, that's the reason why I don't read in the helicopter. It is, you know what? That's my nickname, self-loading sandbag, because I don't run the camera. I'm just a reporter. I have actually hung out of a helicopter one time shooting, like literally with a strap and a camera on my shoulder. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. I have a friend of mine who I should check in on him. He is really, really old. He used to fly with a movie camera back in the black and white, just the beginning of color, cowboy movies. And they would have a helicopter with a plank strapped through the skids. And he would sit on that. He would climb out, sit on that plank, and run that camera. And I was just like, you are my idol. I was like, yeah, I want to give that a shot. But no, I haven't done the sandbags, but I have actually held a camera out. It was a surf contest, and I actually was hanging out of a helicopter. So, what is that about CBS?
Yeah, somebody said they were glad you got away from CBS.
Dave in Cal 48. Stu, you're the best. So happy you got away from the CBS.
Oh,
CBS.
You know what? You know what? Look, let me tell you. It is just like anything else. When you're working with people for so long, you know what, it was like leaving a family. It was like leaving a family. I'm at Fox now. They are becoming my family. There's no doubt about it. It is a process. But that's the thing. I have nothing ill about them. They were wonderful people. I think they put out a fabulous product. I think Fox out here does an amazing job. I'm going to say this out loud. Hopefully none of my bosses are saying we're underrated. We're underrated. I think if more people really watched, I think that they'd be like, hey, this is just as good as anybody else's, if not better. But it's just right now, it's just really tough because, like we talked about, you got this side and you got that side, man. People did just somehow they associate those 3 letters with a side, and it's not really true. It's I'm telling you, I would tell you if it was. It's not really true. So.
Especially these days,
but
things get crazy.
Anyway.
But with everything going on, go ahead.
I'm the interviewer.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, what have you guys seen lately? What pursuit have you guys been like? Oh my God, that was.
Oh well,
maybe I see. What's been going on? What have I missed?
Well, the whole thing the other night when we had 2 chases back to back. One chase
for Tuesday.
On Tuesday night you had the one chase that was okay, and then next thing you know, they said we're heading to another chase. We followed that, watched that, and saw the young lady hit the back of that 18-wheeler doing about 93 miles an hour.
No.
Yeah, that was insane.
That was very hard to watch, but from everything I'm understanding, she is alive, which is a miracle. A miracle.
Yeah.
And that's something we don't like to see. We've talked all the time when we're watching chases. If you're running from the police and you get hurt, it's one thing. If you're running from the police and you hurt innocent people that are just on their way home or they're just going to the grocery store, it's heartbreaking to see. And not knowing the situation this lady was in that caused her to, basically her husband was worried about her and they were trying to stop her. It's a thin line you walk there, and it's often something we worry about. But I love chases. We just started watching a lot of body cam stuff that with people, drunk drivers and things like that, and those are hilarious, absolutely hilarious to watch. Drunk people, I don't care when you're watching them. Drunk people are A+ entertainment.
This is going to be another one where my friends that I'm going to talk about right now are probably going to be like, "Oh, Stu, you know what? Could you butcher it any worse?" I know that a couple of my stringer buddies have gotten together and they do something like, remember there was like that PD Live, and they do a version of that, and it's like Stringers Live.
Yes.
And I am fascinated by that, and I would actually, if I could find one of the stringers that was local. I mean, of course, I'm not going to partake in any of that because, this, that, and the other thing and blah, blah, blah. But boy, I'd love to do some of that. I think that would be amazing fun. And I think as far as people that are newsies and people that are all about like chases, I think that would be something that would grab their attention, So there's and I think that's actually what it's called. I think it's called Stringers Live.
It is Stringers Live. Yeah.
That just sounds amazing. Yeah, and I think that sounds amazing. And I think a lot of, I think that could be really entertaining, especially if they have the resources, as I'm told, but it's not just Los Angeles. It's like all over the United States. So they can go back and forth to find cool stuff. So, but anyways.
John Cole, that was a good one there. Where they stole the bicycle and just rode off into the sunrise.
That too was a very good one. Early morning chase. They were following the couple. They stole bicycles from homeless people.
Two different times the cops were around shining flashlights on them, and they
Long Beach. Long Beach.
Yeah.
It was in Long Beach, right by the wash.
I think so. Yeah, because they went down and got real wet.
They had to get wet first after they got through that neighborhood. They waded through some very strange, possibly infected water, and then came out the other side stealing homeless people's bicycles. I mean, how bad is your luck if you're already homeless and then somebody steals your bike?
Well,
that's bad luck.
It might have been reverse karma because where'd they get that bike? But anyway, we're not judging. We're not judging anybody. Not judging anybody. We talk about off the wall pursuits. We had one that I covered that was a lot of fun. It was super fast. It was one of those ones where we kind of got there late because it was on these odd frequencies because it was started down in Orange County, made its way up into LA, and then it was somebody got wind of it because they heard some crosstalk. We couldn't find it on the scanner. That was part of it also. We couldn't find it on the scanner, but we heard the helicopter talking to another helicopter, one of the law enforcement, and it turned out it was coming up from Orange County. It was Orange County officers, and it made its way up over here, got off the freeway, crazy reckless, went through a park, was doing donuts, and then everybody bails and talk about the infected water. That's what got me going. These guys ran into and were like swimming in the LA River. So the people that aren't from LA, the LA River is basically, I mean, it's sad to say, it's just a giant sewer. It's like anything that's like, floating around or like you run your water and it just kind of winds up in the LA River. And but yeah, these guys were swimming in it, and the cops went in. And then the guy, they're like dragging him out, and he would fall down, and the cop falls down. It was like the only thing they needed was some Benny Hill music. That would have made it perfect. But yeah, it was ugly. But those guys, those cops, man, I hope they got some gold stars or a tetanus shot, one of the two. I'm not sure. But yeah, that was a cool one. That was a cool one.
It's funny that you mentioned the Benny Hill music because
yakety sax. Yeah.
Somebody just in the comments while we were talking about some of the best ones that we've seen. I don't know if you remember the woman that we only thought it was one woman in the car, and they kind of
I think it was in Diamond Bar or something like that. They were down there.
The car was all smoked out, gassed up.
They went in there and they hit the car with gas, and then a little kid jumps out running in front of the lady. And we didn't know the little kid was in the car.
I remember that.
And Creed hit yakety sax as soon as we thought it was the lady coming out of the car.
We didn't know that it was a child, that anybody else was even in there, and I looked like an idiot.
But I guarantee you, when we watched the one where those guys were in the park, we definitely had Benny Hill running in the background for sure. I guarantee you that. So.
There you go. You do remember it.
Oh, absolutely. Stu, there isn't a chase that we don't. So there isn't a chase we don't remember. Basically, at this point.
Let me give some shout outs. Hang on, I got to do this because I didn't do it last time. So Shelly Combs runs LA Scanner Group on Facebook, and she is the OG Pursuit Facebook person. There's just no doubt about it, hands down. I'm not saying it because, her and I are friends, and that's how we became friends, is because she, as far as I know, she started all of that. She nice. Really started all of that. And then Moy comes along, and Moy is, I got to give, and this is nothing but love. Moy is a crafty little devil. And boy, if there's something going on, and that guy is techie as you can get. And everybody, and it's gotten to the point now where it's like, if somebody comes up to me and says something about blah, blah, and Facebook comes up, they're like, oh, Moy. So he is really making it. Yeah, I mean, he's a name out there, and it is because he is so on it. And I think he's got my page, right? It's my page. This is the thing too. It's like I'm not being weird or mean. It's like I can't really I participate as in I participate like there's content, but I rarely go on there. And then I used to feel bad, but it's like the thing is like I'm being serious. It's like I feel awkward. I feel like, it's like I don't do enough to help these pages out. And so I kind of just took a little bit of a step back. And that brings me to the question that Moy brought up a couple of minutes ago about the stickers. Everybody, the stickers. I've been wanting to make a Fox version of the sticker. Now that I'm with Fox, I wanted to kind of mix it up a little bit, make a Fox version, and kind of do the same thing. It's like I'm not going to sell them, but if you can't show up and see me and I can hand them to you, I got to get them to you somehow. So there's got to be some sort of mail exchange. But one of my other good friends, Marcel, stepped in and he's like, "Yo, I got your sticker. We're coming up. We're going to take it to the next level." So I'm waiting to see what that is. And if that happens, there's definitely going to be a new sticker out. It's going to be definitely Guy Snitch or something along those lines. And I'm definitely coming back with a sticker. And I got to give a shout out to all the Facebook groups, just keeping up with all those pursuits. And you guys, I mean, you're doing it too. It's like, how do you do this? How do you keep up with all this stuff? I am beyond blown away about all of that. And the fact that you know the people that I work with like I do. I mean, it's serious. It's just amazing cool. It is amazing cool. Megan, I know I don't know if anybody's kind of noticed that she's not out there anymore. She has left. She has left the building, and she's not hasn't passed away, not at all. But she is moving to Florida, so you might be seeing her doing some Miami pursuits. So there's a little gap there. If you want some, they're looking. I'm telling you, they're looking for the next big star over there at one of our competing companies. So, there's a lot going on behind the scenes that maybe some people. It is the LA Police Chase Group. I just remembered it. I just remembered it, Shelly.
I just talked to Shelly. It's so weird that you brought up Shelly because today I was messaging her, asking her to put up the thing about you coming on the show very nicely, and she was very gracious and said I could do so on their great Facebook over there. And it's definitely it's a good community. The people who are behind the scenes doing all this stuff it is a really good community. And if you guys think for any reason it's not, or you think that there's a lot of competition, there really doesn't need to be, because there's enough out there for all of us to be able to do what we do.
Yes.
And guys like Stu, keeping it going. But that's the thing. I'm just going to work and I'm bringing the content, but I love it. I love the fact that you guys enjoy it, because you know what? I enjoy it. And that's what I've always been saying from day one. It's like, I just really enjoy what I do. I love to share. Everybody likes to go, oh, look at that beautiful sunset. But if you're sitting there on the beach by yourself, you're just a miserable old man looking at a sunset. But if you're out there with a bunch of your friends, you're all out there having a good time watching a beautiful sunset together. And that's really what it's all about,
And we can completely relate to that with a lot of the things that we do. Just sitting around watching live cameras of one of our favorite ones is Key West on Duval Street in front of Sloppy Joe's. We just watch people walk. We people watch, but it wouldn't be the same if we didn't have a bunch of people in there.
There weren't 100 people watching it with us and talking about things and getting what we're doing. And that's the thing. As long as people get what you're doing, like how you are. I mean, you're a special person when it comes to broadcasting, and the people that understand it just makes all the difference in the world. And it really brings a smile to your face when people say, hey, you're doing a great job. We love what you're doing. And that's what we wanted to do today, Stu, just to remind you, hey, we all got you back. We love what you're doing, and we just want you to keep it up.
Oh man, I appreciate that. I do love the love, trust me. And you know what, you guys do an amazing job, and you should, you should interview Shelly. I think Shelly would be, Shelly is, have you ever spoken to Shelly? Have you ever actually talked to her or hung out with her?
No, she accidentally almost called me today, but yes.
Well, she is, I'm telling you, she is an amazing individual. She really, truly is. And I got nothing but love for her, for real. I do. She is great. And she's not what you expect. That's probably the only way I could. That's the way I felt about it. It's like when I met her, I was like, oh my God, it's totally not the woman I thought. So she is really, really cool, and she's she's a family woman, and she's she's doing God's work. Gosh darn it, she's raising those kids now. But she's an amazing mom, and I just can't say enough good things about her. And the same thing for Moy. Moy's not a mom, I don't think so, at least. But at any rate, Moy,
not today.
I know. I've
met
him
anymore.
a couple times. And but he's these guys are really, really cool, and they're so awesome, and truly the fact that they're so passionate about things that I am passionate about. It's like you said. It's like it's great. It's great to share. It's so great to share.
It's kindred spirits all coming together. Yeah. Dirk Diggler. I don't want to ask about that one. I'm only gonna go even close to that, Stu.
Keep on rocking. But anyway, man, so where are you guys at? I mean, clearly you're not. You're not.
I'm in North Carolina.
So where are you guys?
I'm in North Carolina. He's in South Carolina, which allows us the ability when there's an early morning chase or there's something out this way in like Texas or something. It gives us the opportunity to cover that and watch those kinds of things unfold. Whereas the people who live over in California, when we're in bed, they can, take the reins and cover everything that's going on while I get my beauty sleep. So it's a different thing. People don't really believe us when we're like, look, we're not in California, but we still love chases. You don't have to be from California to love chases. You really don't. It helps.
No, you
really
don't.
And
it's universal. I mean, I'm telling you, it's universal. I love it when like Australians or or people from England or anywhere out of the United States, and they hit me up and they're like, I watch you on YouTube. I'm just like, wow, that is just so cool that you guys are that into it. And but yeah, we should do a tour. We should do a pursuit tour. Just go around and like check out pursuits in other states,
Yeah. I mean, that's what we basically do every day, Monday through Friday, 405, which is in honor of the 405.
I'll say this: we get a lot of people that ask, like, why is it always L.A.? We see a few, here in Houston once in a while, or Dallas. I don't think people understand the amount of cost that goes into having an airship up there to do these sort of things, and not just chases, live events overall. And we say that, and also there's lots of chases. If you ever go to Google and you search like how many chases there are really in one day in America, there are a lot of them. You're just never going to hear about them, never see them really.
Right.
So it boils down to having enough money. Yeah.
And I was going to say, in other markets, like the smaller markets, like smaller towns, even in Vegas, which you would think, well, Vegas is, no, they don't. It's like if something happens, the station's got to send a photographer to the airport, and to go and then, the pilot's got to probably gets there before him and gets the aircraft ready. And here in LA, we're staffed. We're crewed up, we're ready to go. We're waiting for that call. And, a lot of times that's the thing. It's like people are like, oh, like today I was leaving for work. Oh, there's a pursuit, and I'm just like, okay, let's go. And before we even got to the aircraft, it was over. And there's so many times where, that happens, or we're in the air and it's over. So, it is a lot of timing. Timing is a lot of it. The Bay Area, and there you go too. I just saw that in the Bay Area. I know some of the I know a helicopter pilot that was working up there. And it's the same thing. He had to wait for his cameraman. He's on staff and he's hanging out at the airport waiting for the cameraman to show up if something's going on. Oh my God, these guys aren't waiting for you. You got to be there. You got to go. So anyways, it's all good.
It's a great job you have. You're doing a great job at it. We're just glad that you were able to take a little bit of time out of your day. We've kept you here for an entire hour. I'm gonna relinquish you back to the beautiful world you live in there at your palatial estate.
Nobody's even mentioned the shadow casting completely off dark here. Nice and beautiful.
Nice and beautiful there where Stu's at. Dark as a dungeon out here, but we appreciate you taking time to come on with us. Go ahead, Stu. You were going to say.
I appreciate you guys. I love all the. I was going to say I love you guys. I love you guys, and I appreciate the call and the fact that you guys even remember me. Poor Stu, my heydays long gone, but I'll make a comeback to her. I can feel it coming. But I do appreciate it, and I love the love, and you guys are just great, man. And I can't thank you guys enough for even asking me on. And I'm here all the time, and you know what? And let's say it. I love the love, and I love everybody that's into this stuff like we are. So, can't get enough of you guys. And just
Chase family is the best family, Stu. I've said it once, I'll state it again. Chase family is the best family. So, big thank you to you. Big thank you for all the people that came through today, even the people nice enough to drop donos here. Remember, we'll be back at it tomorrow at 4:05 with We Gotta Chase. That's right. In honor of the 405, Stu. There it is. That's the whole reason we do it. 405.
What is it?
So make sure
405 hours to get to wherever you're going.
There you go. Make sure you're subscribed. If you haven't liked this video yet, please do so. And Creed, anything else before we leave?
No, again, thank you so much, Stu, and thank you to everybody hopefully we got to enough of your questions. I'm sorry, some people always get mad at me because I'm always behind on the comments.
There was like 900 comments I see over here beside me, so we got to some of them. That's all that matters. Until next time, Moy, by the way, thank you, Moy, for every time you text me with a chase. I really appreciate it, Moy. I want to shout Moy out again. He deserves it. So great time. Until next time, guys. Please remember, Stu Mundel, Chase legend, one and only. Thank you again, Stu. Thank you.